Well, ladies and gentlemen, looks like Assassin's Creed Shadows just continues to take L after L after L, and they don't really know what to do with this game at this point. Now, apparently, the Pure Art statue, and if you guys remember this statue, it was featuring a Torii gate, which anybody who knows history knows that's probably not something you want to showcase, especially in a destroyed manner, considering what happened, but, I digress. Pure Arts is going to rework the Assassin's Creed Shadows statue featuring Yasuke and Naoe on a destroyed Torii gate after massive backlash.
You've got to do better, Senator.
Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is not too surprising considering that, number one, they delayed the game. Number two, they're trying to make it seem as if they're doing things to try to be more accurate to Japanese culture and history, especially when we all know that's not true. And number three, now apparently they're redesigning this statue because for some reason, some idiot over there didn't realize that having your two main characters hanging out on top of a destroyed gate is probably not the best idea, right? Like, why would you hang out on a destroyed Torii gate knowing the history of Japan? And I feel like whoever their consultants are, because, they have consultants, they've said this already. If you have Japanese consultants and they told you this is A-okay, no problem, you need to fire them. And you need to get brand new consultants. So anyway, guys, let's get into this video. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says Pure Arts, designer for the collector's Assassin's Creed Shadows figures that features Yasuke and Naoe on a destroyed one-leg Torii gate, announced it is reworking the design. The company posted to X, "We recently released an insensitive design. We appreciate and have learned from the concerns brought to our attention, and we apologize for the harm that this caused." No, you don't, bro. No, you don't. You guys knew exactly what you were doing at the end of the day, right? Like, they all knew what they were doing. You think they give a fuck about being sensitive to the Japanese community? No. They were hoping that they can do all of this shit and get away with it. Just like with the video game, right? Assassin's Creed Shadows was hoping that they can release the game and everybody was just going to eat it up because it was another Assassin's Creed game. They didn't think that people were going to give them this much backlash over it. Sure, they were expecting the West to be mad over Yasuke because they would be like, well, you guys are saying this is historically accurate, but it's not. It'd be one thing if you would call it fake and a fantasy, but you're saying it's historically accurate, so we have an issue, we have a problem. But they weren't expecting the Japanese to get this angry. That's where things went south for them. They tried to create this narrative and say, well, the Japanese aren't actually angry. It's just white people in the West that are using the Google Translate feature to pretend to be Japanese and leave mean comments. That's the cope that they tried to sell you in the beginning. But that didn't quite work out because there was way too many Japanese YouTubers speaking out against the nonsense. So once they saw actual real Japanese people speaking out against it, and they couldn't lie about it because, well, obviously, just look at them. They're clearly Japanese. Then they started to change the narrative and say, oh, well, we made a mistake and we'll fix it. Okay, sure you will. You're not going to fix anything. You're just going to try to band-aid it as much as possible with as little money invested as possible so you can release this game and try to achieve maximum profit, which we all know it's probably not going to happen. Then it said that in response to an individual inquiring about pre-orders, Pure Arts stated pre-orders had not been canceled, and you'll receive an email soon with more information. For any questions, please don't hesitate to email us at support@purearts.com. Now, back in September, the statue was blasted by X-user bunch of numbers. As translated by Google, the user wrote, "Please spread the word. Assassin's Creed Shadows figures from Ubisoft, a famous Japanese hate and criminal company. A figurine of a destroyed Torii gate has been released, which is believed to be based on the one-leg Torii gate that was destroyed in the Nagasaki atomic bombing." He added, "I have never seen a one-legged Torii other than the one destroyed by the American atomic bomb in Nagasaki." Now, again, this is a prime example of what happens when you have so many people working at Ubisoft trying to pretend as if they're experts, right? They're experts on Japanese culture. They're experts on Japanese history. These experts that work for these companies, let's be real, they're not experts, okay? Most of them are young college people just fresh out of college. Most of them just go on their computers and their bosses say, hey, find me something that's going to fit with this statue of Yasuke and Naoe that'll be very Japanese looking. And the straight out of college person's like, all right, I got you. I'm going to Google it. I'll be right back. They go and they Google a whole bunch of stuff and they're like, I got it. Let's use a Torii gate. Here's a picture for one. and it's a halfway destroyed one. It's like, bro, what are you doing? And then what makes it worse is that the people at the top, they're like, yup, this looks Japanese enough. Let's roll with it. That's really what it is. I hope you guys understand that. That's genuinely what it is. These motherfuckers don't know what they're doing. They have no idea about the history and the culture of Japan. They don't care. They only want to do the bare minimum. They want it to look like they care, right? It's not about actually caring. It's about looking like you care. Just like most of the wokies on Twitter, you think most of them give a fuck about Palestine or Israel or whatever? No, they only genuinely want it to look like they care. It's the perception of virtue without actually being virtuous, because it's the easiest form of virtue that you can achieve in modern day. Just pretend like it on Twitter. So you got a side-by-side comparison picture here where the only one that's known to, I guess, to Japan, according to this commenter, is the one destroyed in the Nagasaki bomb. And this is the real-life one here on the right side, so you can see they basically ripped it and made it for the statue. Not surprising. With Shin bringing attention to the figure, many others roasted Ubisoft for it. YouTuber Razorfist wrote on X, Ubisoft including an artifact from a nuclear detonation, a one-sided arc, in what promises to be the biggest bomb of the year. God is a stand-up comedian. That's true. This is going to be one of the biggest bombs of the Assassin's Creed franchise, and ironically so, they're trying to release a statue from one of the biggest bombs ever known to man, released on human beings. It's quite sad. Not Haru47 wrote, Ubisoft just keeps digging themselves deeper into the shitter. Then it says that YouTuber Varadark posted, Ubisoft have spent $500 million on the game's budget before, so they either hired dollar store historians or are intentionally disrespecting Japan. There's no shot this many mistakes have been made. It's definitely the first one. It's definitely the first one. I think it's a little bit of the second one because, like I said in the video earlier, they don't care about Japan. They don't care about the history. They don't care about the culture, right? Ultimately, for them, they just want it to look like they care. But I think it is mainly this. I think what it is that developers now have taken the load off of themselves because they used to be the ones that had to do the research. They used to be the ones that had to look into things so that when they were creating things, they would have to make sure it was authentic as possible. They used to do that work. Now, they've gotten so fucking lazy that they've passed off that work now to consultants that are grifters, literal grifters. They are liars, they are con artists, and they are there only to try to get the money because they know it's easy right now. They have sold this idea to these AAA studios that they're the ones that are the experts. Hire them instead of utilizing your own developers to do their own research and look into it themselves. No, just hire them. So that's what they're doing. They're hiring these fucking fake historians. They're hiring these fake consultants. They're hiring all these people that don't know what they're doing. So when these people come in and say, yup, we did the research here, here's the gate that you were asking for, you think that everything is good because they did the work. You don't even bother double checking or triple checking. You have no idea. So the laziness and the passing off of work, unfortunately, is really showing itself because you have all these mistakes being made, supposed mistakes anyway, being made on one singular project. That is impossible if you have all these consultants. It's literally impossible. So the only way it's happening is if you are purposely doing it, which maybe, you never know, or the people you hired as experts, they really don't know shit. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate if you get to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.